All right, welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and I'm always excited to be playing some Star Wars Unlimited. It's Thursday, which means I'm going to do some draft. Draft is a new thing, recently revealed, maybe about 2 weeks ago. I think this is about my fourth video, where we're just going to kind of go over some of like the draft rules, give you a little bit more perspective of what I think is important when you're drafting as we get closer to the Spark of Rebellion release date, which is going to be Star Wars Unlimited's first set. That's going to come on March 8th as the official release, which is probably when you'll start seeing some drafts. If you're interested in pre-release, we're going to be starting doing some videos like of that starting this Saturday, and we'll show you some of the synergy things you'll find there. But draft is always going to be a little bit different than sealed, and the difference between these two is in a sealed format you get 6 packs and you build a deck out of all the cards. You have options from all the cards you open to build something out of that. That means you're going to have 6 leaders. Pre-release you have 8, so you have a lot of options to choose from. But in draft you only open 3 packs, and that means you only have 3 leaders to choose from. And we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, there's some strategies to draft. There's a lot out there that you can start looking into. If you're a big person who, wants to know a lot more, you love the math, you love the figuring stuff out, I recommend looking for something called quadrant theory. So quadrant theory was something that Luis Scott Vargas came up with when it comes with like Magic the Gathering as far as how to evaluate cards. And there's some stuff you can look into a little bit more in Star Wars, is trying to figure out when is a card really good. You'll hear this a lot as you watch more videos, or if you start getting into more of the competitive scene. There's going to be cards that are really only beneficial in draft, but there are certain stages in draft of when they're good. Some cards are really good and constructed, but suffer a lot in the draft play, because you just need either multiple copies of something to make it work, or you really need a more consistent board presence to make it work. A good example of a card like that would be General Veers. Gives you +1/+1, gives all your Imperial units +1/+1. In a constructed deck, this is a great card. In limited formats, you really need to make sure you have enough cards to make that work. A lot of Imperials. That's kind of like more of a broader one, because Veers can have, he's not bad. He costs you 3. He's a 3/3, and he can make your Imperial unit stronger. Other cards that may not have the same type of hit as they do would be cards that are essentially going to fish for other cards. Think of something like Green Lord Vader as a unit. You play the card, you search for a couple of 2-drops, or you can search for a couple of specific units that equal up to 3. But if you don't draft those units, then he's nothing, he's just a regular 7-cost unit you're putting into play. There could be some better options. Anyway, those are just some tips and tricks that you'll kind of see like as we play and finding synergies. And we're going to get right into it, because this is a draft stream and I should be drafting after 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and we're going to open up 3 packs here on Forcetable. This is hidden behind the Patreon, so if you're not all part of their Patreon, you can't do the limited, but this is kind of where I'm happy to do those things, support the person who spends a lot of their time fixing things, especially during spoiler season. They're updating so many cards all the time, making sure they're interacting right. And Forcetable obviously leads to a couple of other games. If you're familiar with it, you can play Lorcana, Flesh and Blood, Ashes. And so a lot of good stuff here. But anyway, if you're part of the Patreon, you can get access to the draft or sealed mechanics. So let's go ahead and do draft. All right, so in draft, you actually have to open your packs first. So you open all 3 packs, and your leaders are going to be facing one direction. So you're going to be able to pull out those leader cards, leave the rest of the cards in your pack, and you're going to have 3 leaders to immediately choose from. So we have Grand Admiral Thrawn is our first card. Yellow, black, great control. Going to focus more about that mid to late game. And then our next 2 are very aggressive and very specific. We have Leia Organa, who really wants Rebel units to be better. So if you want to take advantage of Leia's abilities, then you really need to make sure you're playing multiple Rebel units in your deck. So this can be a little limiting for us. Next one is Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren doesn't have the same type of aggro issues that Leia runs into. She can come out a little bit quicker. She can, her ability is just to deal damage to both bases at a time, or one base when she's out. So she's just about dealing damage pretty often. She only has 5 health though. I think out of this mix, I'm actually going to take Admiral Thrawn. I like playing the mid game. I like playing a little bit control. In draft, you're more likely... It's harder for you to get all the tools you need for an aggro build, I find. So I feel like I'm safer if I pick Admiral Thrawn as my first pick. I'm a big fanboy of Thrawn. Let's see what pack 2 is. Pack 2 is Krennic and Leia Organa. Now, I've already picked Thrawn. That means I have a villain aspect in play. If I pick Krennic, I feel really good. You know, all those black aspect cards I can pick up that are really good early game and some late. We're talking about Viper Probe Droid, who's a 2 cost. We're talking about ATST, which is a 6 cost with Overwhelm. Or Mahdi's good. Like, Mahdi's fine to giving your units the ability to go again, but he's still not like a great unit to put out early on. So I feel like I want to play it safe. My fear here is if I take Krennic, I'm going to get stuck with a another villain unit. I'll be kind of locked in. But if I take Leia, I just feel like, again, I don't know. There's a couple of options here, but I want to take Krennic because I can commit to the black, and I feel like these are already 2 broad colors. So, and I have no problem getting stuck in villainy. Now, here's what's going to happen a lot in your drafts. If people are paying attention, which they may or may not, you know, they may know what you were handed, right? They may have an idea of what you've been picking up, what you're taking. And here it is, I'm left with the Director Krennic. So I have 2 Krennics and a Thrawn. It means I'm really stuck playing villainy, and so I have to make sure I'm taking those cards appropriately. Now, someone essentially passed me a Krennic, then they passed me another Krennic. So it's possible people are taking hero leaders, and there's going to be a lot more villain cards in the draft pool. So that's another thing to think about. If no heroes are coming my way, it's a possibility that everyone else is playing heroes, and that means they may be throwing more cards in my direction. Let's hope so. Because I am stuck with a villainy aspect, or I'm going to pay more for something. All right, we know our colors are black, blue, and yellow. Let's go ahead and go into that first pack. So when you go back into draft, you're definitely going to have to, you pull your cards out of one pack, and you're going to pick one card out of them, and you're going to pass them to the left. Again, we're playing blue, black, yellow here, so we know we can go either color. I see some great cards already. We have Vanquish, which can deal with a lot of bombs, but it's a 5. We got Power of the Dark Side, great low cost kill event, so 2 great kill events here. We also have Syndicate Lackeys, which is a 5 cost. It's only yellow, so we don't have to worry about the villainy aspect. And it has Ambush, so I like it. Same thing with Greedo here. Greedo is a 1 cost unit. He's only 1 yellow, so we don't suffer any penalties. And he's a 3/1 with another trigger on when he dies, where you can deal 2 damage to a ground unit. Yes, you lose a card, but there's some good there. So those are essentially the 4 cards I'm looking at right now. We could argue that some of these other single blue cards are pretty good, but Greedo's really good like in the early part of the game. So being able to drop him turn 1, swing turn 2 with the 3. Most people want to try to not kill him because they're afraid of 2 extra damage to a ground unit early on. So I really do like him. He sets up our board presence really well. Power of the Dark Side and Vanquish, again, these are great unit killing cards, but I want to make sure I have something to play early, so I'm going to take the foil Greedo. Pack 2, we got a Takedown. That's looking good. We got a Snowtrooper Lieutenant. That's great because we are playing 2 Imperial units here. And we see some good red stuff. Red, we see the Fang Fighter, which is good utility. You can put that out on turn 2. Imperial Interceptor, Force Choke. All things we can easily pivot to. Splashing red is not a problem with either of these 2 cards. But I think what we're going to find is the better answer here is we're going to take Takedown because it's still a single aspect card and it can defeat any unit that has 5 or less HP. So that means if someone plays that Sabine, I have an answer for it. If someone plays a Iden Versio with Shield, I have an answer for it. IG-88, I have an answer for it. So that's already 3 leaders you can kill without having to damage them. So let's take Takedown again. 1 blue, low cost, good removal across the board. All right. Here we don't see a lot of good stuff here. Is again say on Forcetable? Yes, Quarantine, Maher. You are correct that we are going to play against the AI on Forcetable. First, we're drafting. We're drafting against the AI. You can see up top, you see AI 4, AI 6. That means we're player 5, and we're on pick 3 of the first pack. Since I already have a blue card here and a yellow card, I think it's time to kind of make sure we're getting some villainy cards that are going to work. We have Cell Block Guard and Viper Probe Droid. Probe Droid is good. It's an early drop. It's 3/2, and it gives you some knowledge of your player's hand. Remember, you can write down what you see in your opponent's hand in this game. But I think I want to take, no matter what, we're playing kind of more of that control aspect here. So let's take the Cell Block Guard because I'd rather make sure I have the Sentinel on the field to kind of survive a little bit. Ooh, these are some good picks. So again, let's look at some cards that are really good early on in the game for the colors we're playing. Crafty Smuggler. It's a 2/2 for 2. So easy to play. It's only one aspect, so you're not getting forced to pay more if you only have one yellow. And it comes into play shielded. So it's going to last a few turns. Like, it's nothing to write home about. Magic, you call this vanilla 2/2 bear. But it has this shield token that means it's going to last at least one more turn unless someone wastes a vanquish on it. Or, a takedown. Which they should not. So, again, it's a good threat. Next one is Inferno 4. I'm a big fan of Inferno 4 here. It's a 2 cost. It is blue-black, so it's not as good as like Crafty Smuggler or Greedo. But when you play it, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and essentially you can decide if you want to keep them or put them on the bottom. It also does it when it dies. In a limited format, this may be the answer of finding that card you need or you're hoping to find to deal with the situation. I like Inferno 4. I have a feeling it's going to come back. So I'm going to pass, and I'm going to take Crafty Smuggler. All right. Here we see a Devotion, we see a Syndicate Lackeys, and another Crafty Smuggler. All good cards here. Devotion I'm a big fan of because it's a good event. I love putting this on Krennic because he can heal for 4 after he puts this on. And Krennic already hits for like 2 and he's a 7 health. So making him a 3/8 feels like Devotion's going to really give us the life we need. Since we already have a Crafty Smuggler, I want to take the Devotion now just because I feel like, again, it's strong, it's good. I'd put it on Thrawn. I definitely would put it on Krennic. We're going to go with that choice. Here we have another Takedown, a Viper Probe Droid, a Make an Opening, a Death Trooper, all good stuff. If you're unfamiliar with Make an Opening, it's essentially a smaller kill event. So you give a unit -2/-2 for the phase, and you heal 2 damage from your base. So you can kill something. Again, we can kill something like Crafty Smuggler. The shield's not going to bother us. You don't mind paying this to kill Greedo so much. Those types of things. I think in this case, let's take the Probe Droid. I just want another black unit here. Lots of good removal coming our way. This one we have a little bit of red and some yellow and black, or some blue and black here. It binds all things is good, but only if you have a force unit. None of our leaders are force units, and if we try to make it work with where we're at, we're really limited to red or Dooku. So I don't think we're going to get Dooku out pretty easily, so I'm going to take maybe the Patrol Craft, just to make sure we're getting some space. It's Sentinel, so it's going to buy us a little bit of time. Speaking of force users, here we see Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's blue-white, so he's out of our villain aspect, so we'd pay 8 to put him into play. You know, again, he needs more force units to really make it work, so it's not going to be really an option for us. We do see some strong green cards in here, though. I think I'm just going to kind of hate draft them. I don't see us playing that green. We'd have to see some more cards to really make that work. So let's take the Gladiator Star Destroyer right now, because it would make sense if we end up splashing green. All right, here we are. This is pick 9 out of pack 1. So this means this is our first pack. We've gone through 8 players of packs, including our own. I love that Power of the Dark Side came back to us, so we're going to take it. If you're unfamiliar with this card, it's a sack effect card. So an opponent chooses a unit they control, and they have to defeat the unit. So you get in your opponent's head a little bit. It's not what they were expecting to happen unless they had 1 unit. And you can kill it for 3, which is really great. Doesn't matter the size of the unit. Doesn't matter if it's a leader unit. It dies if there's only 1. Now, when they have to make a choice, trust me, it's good. Putting your opponent on tilt, making them make these choices is really great. That's why these sack effects were so good in Magic. One of my favorite cards in Magic the Gathering is called... why'd I forget what it is? You essentially have to draw the top 5 cards of your deck, and you give them to your opponent, and they have to choose fact or fiction. There we go. So essentially, you give them to your opponent, and your opponent puts them into like 2 piles for you. Or you put 2 piles of yourself. Either way, you're giving an opponent a decision to make. Here's 2 piles, and they have to decide which one you keep and which one you get rid of. The reason why that card has made a lot of top tier decks is not just because it gives you some card advantage, because it throws your opponent off their game. They now have an idea of what you're about to do, and they're not sure what answers, like what they should do. What should they give you and what should they take away? It's really difficult. And when you can kind of get in your opponent's head a little bit, you're going to find you're in a better position than them. So let's take Power of the Dark Side. Again, it's one of my favorite cards. We know we're looking at blue-black a little bit here. In case we end up going a splash of green or red, I think we're going to take the Fang Fighter. Just to defeat an upgrade, it's 1 red cost. I know we could play Imperial Interceptor, but you never know what you're going to run into, and we may need the Fang Fighter to take off like a lightsaber in limited format. All right, nothing big here. We're going to take Guardian of the Wheels. First upgrade we play as lowered by 1 on that unit. And I had a feeling Inferno 4 and Death Trooper would come back. We're going to take the Inferno 4 because it's a 2-drop. It's great to play turn 1. It's Imperial, and it hits our space arena. Reinforcement Walker is our last pick, and our Make an Opening is what's passed to us. So that really does set us up for a strong blue. We're blue-black. It doesn't mean we can't play yellow or switch to a better color if we see some other options here, but this looks good so far. So always when you finish up one of your packs, take a quick look at your cards, see what you have, what themes are are you seeing already? What are you lacking? We have 4 space units. 2 of them are definitely going to be playable. All of our events are playable with blue, and our ground is looking okay. So if I look at our ground, if I played blue, black, yellow, I have 5 ground units. So I think that's good. Let's go to pack 2. Pack 2, look at these fun choices. A foil, Make an Opening. Emperor's Royal Guard is our rare. Just realized that was a rare. Interesting. Other cards we could play are Bounty Hunter Crew, No Good to Me Dead, Academy Defense Walker. We got another Gladiator Star Destroyer, and Open Fire if we splash that red. Force Choke. Some good options here, honestly. I think Make an Opening is going to come back. I'm not worried about that one. Bounty Hunter Crew is 6 cost. It has Ambush, so that's already sets it apart. It's a good card. It only hits for 4, though, because it has this other ability of when you play it, you may return an event from your discard pile to your hand. I think recursion effects in limited play is really good. A recursion effect on a card like this makes it feel better. You pay 6, you ambush, you better be killing something if you're going to ambush it. If you can survive, great. But if not, you paid 6 and you brought back another card to your hand. Could be a takedown that you only got 1 of, Power of the Dark Side, Make an Opening, or one of my favorites, Open Fire. So I think we're going to take Bounty Hunter Crew. Really my tougher decisions here were cards like No Good to Me Dead or Make an Opening. But Bounty Hunter Crew gives us that ability to bring a card back that we may really be hoping for. Ooh, a second Devotion and a Viper Probe Droid. I think the Viper Probe Droid's come back, but the Devotion, again, I'm a big fan of this card, especially on someone like Krennic. Where are we at? We have about 5 units already and only 2 events. Let's take the Devotion. I have a feeling the Probe Droid will come back because it's only 1 black. So there's some limitations there. Here's a great card, Emperor Palpatine. Now, he is red, so it would mean not playing either yellow or blue. But again, he's a really great card. The problem with Palpatine is you want to take advantage of him, so you need to make sure you're a little bit behind. This card isn't really a great card to play when you're winning because you want to take advantage of dealing 6 damage to among the units. So you want to be a little bit behind or racing a little bit. But again, when you're paying 8 for this, it's coming out minimum turn 7, and it should get you to the point where you're winning or you've stabilized. So we're going to pass on it because I'm hoping I won't be in that position where I need to do that. Let's take another Inferno 4. Again, we're going to look at top 2 cards. We're going to be able to filter out what we need and filter out what we don't need and leave what we need in play or in the deck. All right, here we have a Veers, a TIE Advance, and a TIE Fighter. TIE Advance only gives the experience tokens to another friendly Imperial unit. That's not bad as long as Imperial's in play. And it's 4, but if one isn't in play, and we're playing a few non-Imperial units, Greedo, Crafty Smuggler, Bounty Hunter Crew, those are all examples. System Patrol Craft, Guardian Wheel, so it doesn't really make sense to grab that card immediately. I see the same thing with General Veers. We're not playing that many Imperials. He's good, though. He's 3, and he's 3, and he's 3. It's not a bad play. I think, though, we're going to take maybe the Jawa for the Saboteur. Let's take the Jawa. I like the 1 cost. I like the Saboteur. If Veers is still there, or the TIE Fighter, that would probably be my next choice. Out of this pack, it's very no yellow. Lieutenant here is really good. He is Imperial. He gives us Sentinel, and he gets stronger for every blue card we reveal. That's what I like about him. It's not, he doesn't have this Imperial stamp. He doesn't say reveal 4 blue Imperial cards. He says reveal 4 blue cards. For each one, give him an experience token. So you pay 4 for a 2/2 unit. Doesn't seem great, even though he has Sentinel, but he can easily be a 6/6 with Sentinel. So we're going to pick him, especially if we end up playing Krennic, that's kind of what it's looking like. Because every time he gets damage, he'll be able to do more damage. So I think that's pretty good. Same thing, let's take the Death Trooper here. We're really leaning towards blue. Krennic's coming out. Death Trooper can damage himself for another unit. So we'll take that. Here's the Ghost. Revealed this week. This is a card I'm excited to mess around with. I still haven't. Great card, Spectre unit. It's going to make the difference in a lot of Spectre decks. It's blue-white, has a shield, and when it attacks, you can shield more Spectre units. I think it's a solid card. Even a Spectre in this pack. But we're not playing Hero, and I'm not going to pay 8 for that vehicle, so I'm going to take the Death Trooper again. It can deal 2 damage to itself to do 2 damage to others. And here's what I said. The Probe Droid was coming back. Here comes a 7th Fleet Defender. I would love this, but I don't think it's going to come back. Let's take the Probe Droid. Gives us 2 now. Here we'll take the Make an Opening. I like the event. It gives us a little bit of options there. Really nothing in here I want to take, so I'm going to take away, hate draft a card that's difficult, and that's Kanan Jarrus. If you're unfamiliar with Kanan, on attack, he can discard a card from your defending player's deck for each friendly Spectre unit. So this guy is great in limited formats. So he's going to be able to mill you, take cards away from you. You only come in with a minimum of a 30-card deck, and you draw 6. That gives you 24 cards. So that means you're on a 12-turn clock. Right? Once you run out of cards, you take damage every time you draw. So that means after 12 turns, you should have drawn all 24 cards. And if you're drawing more, you're going faster. Every time you were to draw a card, when you're out of cards, you take 3 points of damage. So that's 6 damage a turn. Kanan he discards cards based on how many Rebel or Spectres he has on the field, and then he'll heal damage based on how many different aspects he mills. So that means he can heal at least, 2. Up to 3 normally, and he can mill you for 2, 4, 5. I mean, if you really have the Spectres set up, you're solid. And again, here we are. We're about to pass this over to someone who has the Ghost Ship, so you can keep Kanan out longer. With all that said, is why I'm hate drafting Kanan. So not a card you want to see go around. Same thing with Vigilance. Vigilance is double blue, and it can mill you 6. So if you start off with 24 cards, and by the time you can play Vigilance, which is the 3rd turn, you would have had 24, and then you would have had 18 cards. Someone mills you 6, you're down to 12. So now you're on a 6-turn clock. All that to say, no one wants to be that guy. Let's give a shield token to a unit. I'm going to take Moment of Peace just because. We'll take another Gladiator Star Destroyer. Get that out of there. I don't think I want anything here. We'll just take the Honor Guards for that Sentinel. And there we go. We get a resupply. Okay. We're done with Pack 2. We're about to get to Pack 3, and then we're going to play 2 games and get back into the draft. Bounty Hunter Guard, Bounty Hunter Crew, Cell Block Guards. These all look good. It's all okay. Our low-cost units would be here. The Probe Droid, Scavenger, Guardian of the Wheels, Smuggler Greedo. We really got to make sure we're getting some bombs in here. So this next pack, it's about looking at bigger units or bigger events. We do have 2 devotions to put on someone like Krennic. So again, some either bigger units or some units that get stronger the more they get damaged. So blue's good at that. So let's take a look here. Another lieutenant comes our way. And look at this guy. Revealed today, Bail Organa. 1 cost, green, white. We can't play him, but let's take a look. He's a 1/2 rebel official. You can exhaust him to give an experience token to another friendly unit. So I think that's great. You know, yes, he doesn't do anything on the first turn, but that can make a big difference, especially like in limited play. You're playing someone like Hera or Tarkin. If I'm playing Tarkin, yeah, Bail's not Imperial, but I can double up on my experience counters. You know, I think that's great. For us today, we have Lieutenant, we have Cell Block Guard, and we have Moment of Peace. Cell Block Guard's an easy one to play, but we're really going into blue, so we're going to take another Lieutenant here. Here comes Snow Trooper Lieutenant, Wilderness Fighter, Cloud City Wing Guard. Let's take that Snow Trooper Lieutenant, just so we can have a good hit. Eventually, we'll be able to like play him and swing with someone bigger. That's kind of the plan there, especially now that we know we're a little bit more dedicated to blue. So I think we can grab a couple more Imperial units and go from there. We still don't have a bomb, though. We don't really have a big threat that's going to hit the board besides Krennic. Do I want to take Vanquish? Let's take Vanquish. I don't have that many kill events, and I think that would be a good one. Here you get a good card like Overwhelming Barrage, but I'm really dedicated to blue, black, and yellow, so it's not going to make the cut. It's a great card. It's an awesome card, especially if you're losing, because you can really stabilize and clear the board. Love this aggression. And Foil Chopper. Chopper's a great card early on. If we were playing those colors, he's a must, because again, he does something similar to Kanan. He discards the top card of a player's deck. Doesn't matter if you have specters on board or not. But if he discards an event, you can exhaust the opponent's resource. So you can kind of slow him down in 2 different ways. I like it. Out of this pack, I think we're going to take the System Patrol Craft. Again, get that Sentinel just to stabilize a little bit more. The Ghost, a Han Solo, a Foil 5th Brother. That'd be hard to pass. Foil 5th Brother. Vanquish is looking good. Academy Defense Walker. It's okay. It may work for a lot of what we're doing. We have some Sentinel units, but it's not really a bomb. Like it just makes a lot of our stuff stronger if they're damaged. ATA Suppressor's a maybe because it's going to exhaust all ground units. So it's kind of the last thing we would do. I guess let's just take an answer and deal with bombs. If we're not finding bombs ourselves, we got to be able to deal with ones when they show up. All right, nothing solid here. A Wilderness Fighter and a Make an Opening. I think we'll take the Wilderness Fighter because I like it has shields. It can take a little bit of damage there. Another Vanquish, but I'm going to take Power of the Dark Side. It's low cost. I like it a little bit more. I think it'll work. I can't hate draft a second Kanan, so I'm going to take a Make an Opening. Third Inferno 4, why not? We'll take it. Again, those kind of cards are going to be helpful in filtering out our decks, getting what we need. I think at this point, I'm going to take the Cargo Juggernaut to heal in case we're a little bit behind. I think a lot of this is going to come down to Krennic, so I'm going to grab that Repair. Overwhelming Barrage still came back around. Oh my gosh. I guess I could fit it in if they're just going to give it to me. If we took Overwhelming Barrage, we're only losing a few yellow cards, too. It would give us this bomb. Such a maybe. I'm going to take Moment. I'll take the bomb. We'll take 97th Legion. Alliance Dispatchers, our final pick. Let's see what we can build. All right, if we drop the yellow, that loses the Crafty Smuggler, the Jawa, Greedo, and Bounty Hunter crew. We don't lose really anything else. If we add the green, we get Overwhelming Barrage, that resupply, 2 Star Destroyers, and a Reinforcement Walker, and the 97th Legion. So it's not a bad trade. We may have enough to really stabilize early on without those early yellow cards. So that may be the list here. Let's see what we can build. Krennic, please. Blue, black, green is our colors. I kind of wish I took that energy conversion lab that was in there, but instead we'll take the command center. Okay, let's see. This is where it comes down to it. We're going to put in some units. We need the low cost first. We know that's going to be our probe droids, our wilderness fighter, our snowtrooper lieutenant, and I think we had some space units. No? Inferno 4. Yep, 3 Inferno 4s. So that takes care of a lot of our low cost first turn, second turn cost units. Cell block guard and death troopers are definitely going to be good no matter when you play them, whether they're early or late, as long as you have units in play. We're going to take lieutenant, of course. Reinforcement walker. Yep. Got to have something big. The juggernaut and the Legion. This puts us at 15 units so far. I'm hesitant on Guardian of the Wheels so far. I think all 4 of these units are going to be solid. They're all Sentinel. And we really want to control that space presence a little bit more. Again, both devotions on a card like Krennic is super good. So Krennic has Restore 2, and he's a 2/7. So immediately making him stronger, healing your base often. The goal is to kind of keep him alive and get our health back. So if we face an aggro matchup, it's going to be tough, but we should be okay. So let's talk about that aggro matchup. How are we going to get through it? Well, we have Overwhelming Barrage to get us through, like, stabilize if it gets rough by the time we hit 5. Power of the Dark Side is going to help us deal with some of those bigger units. Make an Opening is going to heal our base and kill some of those smaller units. So I think that's a good one to grab all 3 of. This leaves us with cards like Resupply, Takedown, Vanquish, Moment of Peace. In a draft, these would be cards I would immediately sideboard in, depending on like the scenario. But we want to keep this a little bit down to 30 cards, just so we know what we're getting. So I think we're going to take the I think we're fine without the Resupply, but I think we are. Let's take 1 Takedown, 1 Vanquish, and we'll grab the Resupply. So what we're not taking is the Repair or the Moment of Peace at this time. All right. We built the deck. We built Krennic. I'm a fan of Krennic. It's hard not to go into the villain aspect, and let's see if this works out. So set up the board here. Who are we playing? Boba Fett. When an enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, ready a resource. Boba's goal is to kind of take advantage of readying resources so he can play 2 or 3 cards in the same turn, where without this ability, he may be limited to 1 or 2. When he's deployed, he does a similar thing, except the trigger is on attack. He has to complete the attack. So he has to stay alive, and a unit has to leave play. Leaders never leave play. They just get deployed or they get back into the leader area. But when he does this, he readies 2 resources. So the possibility of him playing 2 cards a turn, very strong. This also means he doesn't really have to go past 5 resources or a certain amount if you know he can play multiple cards in a turn. So, all right, no mulligan for us. I want to deal with this bad hand. Because sometimes you have to make those choices. And what do you do when you mulligan a second time and you see, oh, one of my big bombs? Oh, one of my cards I can destroy, like can make sure that if I'm losing, I can get stabilized or even win. Like, that's hard. That's really tough. I don't want to get rid of any of these cards. I also don't have a card that I can put on turn 1. Again, this isn't the type of hand you keep. This is more of trying to figure out how do you bounce back from this. So we're going to have to give up something. So make an Opening is going to go. It can kill something, but we have 3 of them. So I have no problem getting rid of it. Same thing as Reinforcement Walker. I can get rid of it. We'll be okay. This means nothing on turn 1. If we have nothing on turn 2, I'm going to resupply. So we're going to take the initiative. The opponent plays the Cartel Spacer. Doesn't really do any of its bonuses. It's just a 2 cost unit that comes out, and it's a 2/3 now. All right, we got nothing to play this turn, which means we're playing that resupply. We got to drop something. I'm going to drop the Death Trooper because we don't have another unit, and we have nothing to hit in the ground yet. We also have a couple of Death Troopers. So this at least puts us in a better spot. We're 1 resource ahead of our opponent. We're going to take the initiative. They're going to look at our hand with the probe droid, but it's an AI, so I'm not too worried about it. And we're going to take 2 points of damage. It's 30 to 28, their favor. We can now play a patrol craft. We can play the lieutenant. We're closer. We can play overwhelming barrage if I really want to try and kill some stuff once I get a unit in play. Anything like that. All right. I think in this setup, we're going to go ahead and play... I'm going to drop the probe droid. I don't really need to see the opponent's hand at this time. We do want to stop some of these units, though, so let's play the lieutenant. We're going to reveal all three blue cards. The opponent's seen most of them because of the Viper probe droid, so it's not new hand advantage. Here comes the second one. So now we have lieutenant with Sentinel. He's a 5/5, and once he gets damaged, he's going to be hitting for 6 because of Krennic's ability. So that looks pretty good. Krennic, we could actually pull him out now if we want to. I think we're going to do that. I think I can keep him alive. All right. Well, I can keep him alive, but I can't keep him untapped because they just played No Good to Me Dead. So exhaust a unit. That unit cannot ready this round. You ready at the end of the round during the resource phase? No. Activation phase? Why did I forget what this phase is? Action phase and something phase. It'll come to me. That's pretty funny considering I just got paid for like doing the demo events where I needed to know those phases. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Like I got a text today that was just like, yeah, you just got paid for that work you did for demoing Star Wars. And now I'm just like, what is that phase even called? I don't remember. Action phase, player phase, resource phase, cleanup phase. Bothering me. If you know it, please feel free to type it in the chat. Now, the AI did put down an experience token when the Vanguard infantry died. And they were able to put it on any unit on the field, and they chose the Cartel Spacer. So that's a good move for them there. We got Devotion out. That's solid for me. I got to get rid of something, though. We can get rid of the Patrol Craft. I can get rid of the Patrol Craft because we have Overwhelming Barrage. So we know we can kill anything that comes our way. Which is exactly what we're going to do after Boba comes out. So I'm going to swing on the base right now. Hit it for 6. Out comes this Cartel Spacer. Not going to be able to kill Boba now. But we can have some fun. We'll get to play Overwhelming Barrage. We'll give our Lieutenant +2/+2, so he's going to hit harder. We can do 4 damage here. Take care of the Spacer, so that's out of play. We're going to deal 3 damage here. Now, if you're asking why 3 damage if it only needs 2, it's because the Crafty Smuggler has this shield token. And I don't think I can bring the shield part up, but the shield essentially blocks all amount of damage in one instance. This is considered 1 instance of damage. So we split it all up. All I can do is hit the spacer to get the shield off, but it's gone. So I'll take it. Boba's going to have to swing in the lieutenant here, and I'm all right with that because that lieutenant's going to hit him hard. Let's take the initiative. Boba swings like a chump. And he takes 8 damage. That was a foolish move. AI shouldn't have done it. So they don't get to untap resources. And all they did was die. I think we're good there. Now we are at a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resources. Not sure if there's anything I want to drop at the moment. Or like not keep. Regroup phase. Yeah, Lee, I think that's it. The regroup phase. Lee Price. Lee, I hope you were watching the Dallas Stars versus Toronto last night. I almost threw on my Toronto jersey today. But those are my 2 favorite teams, and I know you're a hockey guy. We're not going to put a card down. I like where we're at. It's not that I couldn't put something down. I just really like where we're at. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take care of Crafty Smuggler. Let's get him out. We're going to heal our base when we do it. He's dead. Base is... And again, if we, the only other option was to play No Good to play Devotion, and now we're okay. We just got No Good to Me Dead, so I think we're just going to. He's at 4 resources left. I can't think of anything with ambush. Let's go into space and look at the next 2 top cards: Imperial Patrol Craft and Power of the Dark Side. I think we're going to put the Patrol Craft on the bottom, and we'll leave Power of the Dark Side on top. Opponent takes the initiative. We're going to pass and go into our regroup phase. Almost always catching those games. I bet. That was a game. The 2 teams I enjoy seeing, that's for sure. Double Devotion, a takedown, Power of the Dark Side. Again, we're holding on to a lot of these kill events. This is a good spot to be in. The opponent's already like ran out of gas. And this is the only problem with Forcetable. The AI is probably going to keep putting cards down into the resource row, which they don't need to. We don't know what they have, but I just know the AI will do this sometimes. So I'm not going to put any cards down. I like where we're at. Again, well, we're about to put some devotion on Krennic here. Make him a little bit stronger. Can't use him this turn, but that's okay. Opponent plays this Star Destroyer. Well, we're not intimidated by that because we have answers. Let's just play my favorite card, Power of the Dark Side. Choose an opponent. We choose them, and they have to get rid of a unit, which they did. So Sentinel does not matter. Let's swing for 2. And we'll pass, and we'll hit that regroup phase. Again, I don't really need to drop anything. This is now we're at this point sometimes in drafts where it's just kind of like, what do you have, opponent? Now he has green-black, which means he could have something really good. He could have an overwhelming barrage himself, anything like that. Out just come a couple of space units there. We got the patrolling V-Wing, which draws a card. It's Consortium Star Viper, which is going to give them health by restoring their base as long as they have the initiative. All right. Let's swing with Krennic. Krennic is going to heal our base back to full health, no problem. Hits the opponent for 4. I think I want to do the same thing. We're going to play a Probe Droid. Show me what you're holding on to. A Star Viper. Yeah, like this just becomes like a really drawn out game. It's not to say this won't happen in draft, because it will. You will have those moments where you're just, you can probably beat your opponent. You have a good board state. You have answers in your hand, but you got to go through the motions. You got to give your opponent a chance. You also want to make sure you're having fun. So that's what it's going to do. That's what this is going to do. We can play the 97th Legion. I think that's what we're going to finally do is we're going to drop the cell block guard and we can put the Legion out, or we can just start killing everything. I think we're going to put the Legion out because I really want something big, and it's a 7/7. So let's do that. Inferno 4 needs to do some work here. Let's go ahead and swing on the Outer Rim Headhunter. You Thank you. Okay, Ninja. I try to be absolute in everything. Pretty much makes me a Sith, according to that rule. All right, I'll swing with Krennic, and then we'll take the initiative. Now, the Star Viper will hit us before. Oh, it won't. Look at that. Boba's just dropping all these cards. This card is what would worry me. And this is, again, like, you're going to come in these moments where I'm like, I don't know how my opponent's going to beat me. But here you see an Admiral Piet. I'm definitely going to go first now, because what if they get something really good and get that ambush? Kill Krennic. Kill the 97 Legion. I don't know. What if they pay 10 to play an Emperor Palpatine? So there's a lot there. So the smart move here is to take out take out Admiral Piet now. Do I have an answer to just wipe him from the board? I do. They're all expensive though. So we'll just use Krennic, I guess. Krennic will heal our base. We're back up to 30. Again, Krennic heals for 6. So until they heal Krennic, I'm not afraid of anything. At least not on this board. Escort Skiff comes in, hits Krennic for 4. Not enough. Not enough. We just killed that unit. Let's hit them for 8 or 7, sorry. Star Viper hits our Inferno 4. That's okay. It's going to take a little bit of damage, and we can take a look at our top cards here. Put this on the bottom, and yeah, Snow Trooper Lieutenant can stay on top. That'll give us the extra damage we need. The game's over. I'm just going to take the initiative. I know I've been saying the game's over for a while, but again, sometimes that's where you run into when you play that mid to late game strategy. Again, we had no bombs. So, we were just really relying on keeping Krennic alive, which we did very well. Snow Trooper Lieutenant will come into play. Krennic can get the win here because that's who he is. Oh, okay, Ninja signed up for 3 pre-releases 3 nights in a row. I feel you. I have 2 so far, which is great. So 2 so far. I have one on a Friday and a Sunday. The goal is to do one on Saturday. I'm just waiting to see what other stores put some up. If I'm lucky, I'm hoping there's a Saturday morning and a Saturday evening at 2 different stores. So, but there are a total of 3 more stores I'm waiting to announce their events. I was actually on one today, Guardian Games, and I could see they have it sort of set up. So it was one of those, I was searching through their website and it was like combing through and it was like Star Wars pre-release, but nothing to click on. So waiting for that. Yeah. But no, that's exciting. That's a lot of packs and a lot of play. That's why I'm doing some practice of sealed pre-release on Saturday morning here online. Let's go ahead and do one more game with this deck. We're playing another Boba Fett, still green, except this Boba Fett has 34 health because that's the way they make the AI a little bit harder. After every win, it gets 4 more health. No mulligan for us. We're stuck with a bad hand again. We have a Reinforcement Walker I have no problem dropping, and I'll probably drop the Cargo Juggernaut. Again, if we don't have a unit to play next turn, resupply is going to be the move there. We'll move a little fast. Boba's going to play that TIE Fighter. Nothing else. We did get a unit, which I like to see. That's a good one. I would like to play it. I think I'm going to drop the resupply. We don't need the ramp with someone like Krennic. He comes out on turn 5. And again, we have some good answers here. So let's take the Inferno 4 and see what the top 2 cards of our deck is. Probe Droid and Cell Block Guard. Those are both good. I don't know what I would get rid of. I think we're going to keep them both. 7th Fleet Defender hits play. Let's take the initiative. Now this guy has shield. So I think I have an answer for that. We'll probably hit the TIE Fighter with our Inferno 4 TIE Fighter. And then hit them with Power of the Dark Side, so we can get past that shield. As far as cards to get rid of, I do want to see what's in their hand, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll drop the Star Destroyer. We're at 4. Let's swing on the TIE Fighter first, get that out of here. The opponent's probably going to play an AI, the AI is probably going to play a unit. Ooh, they didn't. Instead, they use Strike True to damage our Inferno 4. Okay, I can leave 97 Legion on the bottom, or I can take this Takedown. I'm going to put Takedown on the bottom, and 97 Legion is still 2 turns away. We'll keep him, though. All right, Boba Fett's untapping to give himself a resource. We're just going to go ahead and get rid of this 7th Fleet Defender with Power of the Dark Side, and General Tag enters play. Concerned Commander General Tag. So I saw a couple of different pronunciations for him today. I realize his name is not mentioned often in the movies, but it is Tag. I think I heard someone call him Taggy, and then someone else called him Tage. But it would be Tag. General Tag. Ninja, you've been doing pre-releases on here too. Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you're that you're a patron of Forcetable, that you gotta just use that to unlock the paywall there to get to the games. And I think that's really helpful. I'm excited to do some pre-release streaming. I did one a little bit last Saturday, just at the end of a sealed stream. And it's important because you'll if you've been already looking at some cards or playing the starter decks, you already know the synergies with Vader and Luke. And if you don't, this is a good way of starting to learn them. You can try those starter decks on Forcetable before they come out. Obviously, in real time, if you've done any roadshow demos, it's those same cards. So you already know the synergies of what you're looking for, right? If I have a Vader in my pre-release pack, which I will, if I see 3 Super Laser Technicians, I'm definitely playing green, red, black Vader. I know how to do that. I know how to get Vader out 2 turns early. It has the support. Same thing with Luke. If I have C-3PO and R2-D2, I know I have some good consistency of like putting heroic cards in place so I can trigger the shields very well. I think it's good to get that practice and know those synergies really well, and you'll be better with the starter decks. Let's take the initiative. We're about to hit turn 4. I got to drop a card. We're going to drop the System Patrol Craft. I have 2 of them. Tag I can kill with this Death Trooper. Not scared of him. Let's go ahead and do that. 2 damage on the Death Trooper. 2 damage on Tag. He's out of here. Out comes Gamorrean Guards. They do not have Sentinel yet. So let's put the Director Krennic into play. And out comes Mr. Fett. All right. Let's go ahead and play this Probe Droid. Let's see what else the opponent has in their hand. A Waylay and an Admiral Ozzel. Well, that Ozzel is going to cost him 4. And Waylay, he can't play this turn unless he defeats a unit. which he will not, because I think it has to be a unit that came in. No, he could do it. So yeah, he untaps 2. He could waylay the Death Trooper. That's fine. There's no problem there. We have to swing in the guards. I think I'm going to take the initiative. I don't want to swing. Doesn't waylay me. I know he has it, though. I think we're going to definitely play our cell block guard here. We're going to drop the patrol craft. And let's give ourselves some Sentinel ability as well. So here we go. Sentinel. Cell block guard. Again, they can still hit me with that waylay. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and give a unit -2, -2 for the phase. And it's going to be the Gamorrean guards, because I'm going to swing into that with Krennic here. I thought about Boba because it would have killed him, but I really thought the opponent was going to waylay that cell block guard and not swing with Boba. So, again, Boba would be dead, which is why I like make an opening. So, just -2, -2. Out comes the Syndicate lackeys. Now they hit for 5, and there goes Krennic. So now it's a different type of game. I don't have Krennic to rely on with those devotions. All right, it's a dangerous game. Let's go. Take initiative. We're closer to 97 Legion. We have Lieutenant here. That's all right. We don't have any blue cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we got to play him this turn. I think it's going to be the probe droid. Lieutenant does have Sentinel. He's just a 2/2 though, so nothing big. Legion could get bounced. So let's go ahead and swing on Boba Fett. I don't want to see any more resources getting untapped for no reason. Out comes Ozzel. Again, the opponent can still hit us with the waylay. We'll play Lieutenant. If they want to hit us the waylay, they will. We're tempting them. All right, no waylay. They're out of cards in their hand, so I know they put it as a resource. That's perfect. We don't get 97th Legion out this turn, but we have a Sentinel unit. Look at that. He did some damage. He killed a unit. Wilderness Fighter out. We'll take the initiative, and we're going to hit for 2. It's a 28-34 match, not our favor. Inferno 4 and Vanquish. Vanquish is going to help us take care of the Cartel Spacer when that gets to be a problem. But this turn, we're just putting out the 97th Legion. AI puts out a card for the resource pile, which is probably a mistake on their end. Out comes the Jedi Agitator. No big deal there. I could swing on the guards, but it's not going to kill them. Let's take the initiative. What's Ozzel going to do? Ozzel swings into the fighter. Okay. And Cell Block Guard swings into the Wilderness Fighter. He cannot kill it, which is perfectly fine. We're going to take 2 more damage from the Spacer. No concerns here. Double Inferno 4 and Gladiator Star Destroyer. I like that. Let's play that Star Destroyer. I'm going to give the 97 Legion Sentinel this turn. All right. We're also going to use our Wilderness Fighter to take out this Sentinel unit. We hit for 3 now due to Krennic's ability. Boba Fett's going to trigger. Ozzel's going to go ahead and die here. All right. We are now an 8 cost unit. I guess I should have put a resource into play. Man, I wish I had Overwhelm. I guess we'll just take out the Cell Block Guard. We're going to take 3 more points of damage. We're at a 5. We're still pretty good there. The more resources I can put in play, the bigger health it's going to be. So I need to make sure I do that next turn. Jedi Agitator swings. Can't do his on attack ability because he doesn't have a leader in play. So we're okay there. Finally, a devotion. And we have a lieutenant. Now, I did put another card down to give the 97 Legion some more health. We're going to play lieutenant here. Select up to 3 cards. Give him 3 experience tokens. And let's go ahead and play devotion on the 97 Legion. So it's a little bit stronger and it can heal our base too. Perfect. Jedi Agitator can't do a thing. Let's swing with that Legion. We're now hitting for 10. Drop it to 24. I don't see the opponent coming back from this, but again, we don't know. We never know. They have an overwhelming barrage. They could easily play it on the Star Destroyer and hit for 7. Wipe our board a little bit. They have the initiative. We'll play an Inferno 4. Look at the top 2 cards of our deck. We're going to keep them both. We're going to pass. Not going to put a card down. I like where we're at. Out comes an ATST with Overwhelm. We got to answer. We're just going to vanquish that guy. Get him out of here. And now here comes a cell block guard. Okay, let's just give it -2 for the turn. So it's going to hit a little bit less with that Sentinel ability. We're going to swing with the Lieutenant. Boom. Essentially his boss. I'm trying to remember if you see some Stormtroopers in there, they're all if they're all Cell Troopers. I think they're all like Cell Troopers. Just black security units, essentially. Hit the base for 10. Swing with the Inferno 4. Hit it for 2. Hit it for 6 with the Star Destroyer. Thanks, Krennic, for that extra point of damage. It's now a 6-cost game. This game is over unless Boba Fett hits me with an overwhelming barrage. I mean, I have one, so... He needs 7. Oh, not there. It's game. I'm just going to do this for fun. Power of the Dark Side is a win more card at that moment. Out comes Agent Callus with the ambush ability, but can't... Oh, he does kill Childson. Okay. Kills Childson. Draws a card because it does have unique. Now, Callus is different than Boba. Callus says when another unique unit is defeated, you may draw a card, use the ability only once each round. He doesn't have to stay in play to make sure this happens. Unlike Boba, where it's like you have to complete the whole attack. So, anyway, this was a good draft. We're going to go ahead and draft again. Let's go ahead and head back. So we did 2 games. We did Krennic. I love Krennic. It's hard not to play Krennic. So let's try to, this time I will not pick Krennic if he's in the draft pool. So we're going to forfeit the last match here. No reason to do 3. Let's see what we get. 3 packs. Again, just a reminder, you pull out the leaders first out of your packs, and then you have to choose what you're playing. Chewbacca, Leia, and Boba Fett. Chewbacca's hard. I'll pick the hard one right now. I'll pick Chewbacca. See what we got. A Jin, double Jins. I don't know if you want to be the guy who opens 2 Jins or if you want to be the person who's handed 2 Jins. I don't know. I don't know if I like either of them. I guess I'd rather be the person who opens 2 Jins, because the person who's passed 2 Jins, that's all they get to pick from. Imagine getting 3. That's if you get 3 of the leaders on the same pack, take a picture. Take a picture, post it, send it to me, do whatever. I want to know. I want to know how that event went for you. All right, we got IG88 as our third one. To be honest, these are all 3 I would say IG88 is probably the lowest tier in draft. Chewie and Jin kind of sit that mid. Chewbacca's ability is, as a leader, he can put a unit into play that costs 3 or less and give it Sentinel. That seems okay because you can kind of hold off your opponent with units that aren't Sentinel for a good amount of time. Once he hits play, he has Grit and he has Sentinel, so the more damage he takes, the more damage he can do. It looks like he can do up to 10 points of damage without giving him any more bonuses. Jin, though, she's going to help your units survive a little bit more. She doesn't have a way of really protecting herself, so Chewbacca seems to be a good fit here. We're everywhere on the color spectrum except green, so we're not playing green. No green. Just skipping green. Luke Skywalker. I have a fun story about Luke Skywalker, but I don't know if I can say that online. I'll tell people eventually what it is in person. It's a fun one. It's one of my favorite living in Oklahoma stories about Luke Skywalker. Let's take Luke Skywalker here. Restore 3, 7 costs, so we're gonna struggle to put him out. Now, I did say we shouldn't take green, but if we're dedicated to blue, white, green, we could do it. But I don't really want to go that direction yet if we don't have to. So let's take Luke. Luke really puts us in where we want to be. Regional Sympathizers is a better pick because it's a 1 hero aspect. But again, Luke, he's there. For dedicated Chewbacca or Jin, we're going to get to those numbers anyway. Let's take him. Force is with me. Vanquish. There's some good things. Look at that Chimera, man. The problem with like doing real draft is you're going to find yourself in situations, depending on your card collection, or if you play like more standard constructed play, where you're building a 50 card deck, you're going to find yourself in situations where you're like, I need this card. I don't have a playset of this card. I need it for my deck. And obviously on Forcetable, that's not a thing. But, you know, I see a card like the Chimera, and I'm like, I love the Chimera. If this was a foil, how would I pass that up if I didn't have one in my collection? So difficult. Let's take the Forces with me, though, because I think I'm going to just dedicate my time to Chewbacca. This pack does not like Chewbacca as much. Look at that. The gunship is good. It's green. It's yellow. It's white. It has ambush, but we're going to stick with the honor guard for that sentinel. Still fitting on theme. Easy to splash in wherever we choose. Fleet Lieutenant is a good one, but here's Restored ARC. It's low cost. It heals our base. It guarantees you can play something on turn 1. If you know you're dedicated to those 2 colors, this is a good pick. So let's take it. Would I pay 5 for Power of the Dark Side? I would. I would pay 5 for Power of the Dark Side. But why not play a Vanquish at that point? So I think we're going to take the other honor guards. We're really dedicated to blue-white here, I feel like. I don't mind it. I will take this resupply because I didn't really see anything else cool. I'm just going to take it. Back to do blue-white, another honor guards. I like seeing these 5-cost sentinels. We can make any unit sentinel, though, with Chewbacca. Let's take the gunship for now. We don't know if we're splashing in that yellow, if we're splashing green, but 2 resupplies, it makes it feel a little bit better. We'll grab this repair because Chewbacca has sentinel. We're going to want to be healing him. And I guess we can take your My Only Hope. So look at the top card of your deck. You may play it if it costs 5 less. It cost 5 less. So that I'd love to play Luke Skywalker for 2. Or a total of 5 because I pay 3 for this card. If your base has 5 or less remaining HP, play it for free instead. So let's just take it. Let's try it out. Ooh, this is good. Guardian of the Wills, make an opening. Forces with me. Let's make an opening. I like Forces with me, but we're going to take that one. We'll take the surgical droid, for the healing, and we're left with the Death Star Stormtrooper. All right, at the end of all packs, take a look really quick at what you have in your hand. Essentially, you know, what you would do is just look at your pile of cards, shuffle through them really quick. Do I have cards in here? No. I have cards in here. You know, so you never want to take too much time. You also don't want to be like putting your cards on your table for your opponent to like look at them. And you never want anyone to like suspect you of anything. So when you have your pile, do a quick look, have an idea, try to keep them in a sense of like order so you can look at it quicker. You know, they obviously do this here, but like if I'm just like, okay, cool, these are my units, I'm going to put them here, put my space units in these 2 fingers, look around, put them where I need to be, and then they're all like in the right spot next turn when you're like, hey, where'd this card go? Where'd this card go? Like being able to look at what you have. Because here I can tell we already have several ground units, but not really many low-cost ones. So that tells me we need to fill in those blanks. Same thing here, I only got 1 space unit. So I need to make sure I'm looking for some units. As far as events, there's nothing here that's going to kill anyone. It's all really utility. So I'm going to find some options in pack 2 and 3. Pack 2, pick 1. I don't think I like any of it. So Callus I could run. Alliance Dispatcher to make a unit cost 1 less. That's not bad when you're looking at someone large like Luke, but I haven't gotten any other big units. Dodonna here is going to make all the rebel units stronger. And so far, we got quite a bit of rebel units. Chewbacca, though, is not rebel. Let's go ahead and take, I think, Callus. I'm going to take Callus. He's has ambush. He fits that green really well. I think it's a fine choice. As far as pack 2, Resilient here is going to help Chewbacca stay alive a little bit longer. Baze is going to have Grit or Sentinel when you if you have the initiative, which I think is good. I think we're going to take Baze for right now. Pick 3 of pack 2. I love Rugged Survivors. They have Grit, and on attack, if you control a leader, draw a card. We plan on that Chewbacca staying out for a bit, so we're going to take the rugged survivors. Pick 4. Bail Organa. You know what? Whatever. We're going blue, white, green. Let's try Bail. Who am I putting experience tokens on? Somebody. Some of these low cost guys. We're gonna make that work. Snow Speeder is an easy add in hero builds because it has ambush, and on attack you can exhaust enemy vehicle ground unit. So that's going to take care of a lot of those walkers that are coming your way or other speeders. Wow, look at this. Devotion, the Ghost, Moment of Peace, Wilderness Fighters, and Dispatcher. This is a pack. This is a pack that fits what we're trying to do here. Ghost, I need to see some Spectre units, but if I can see some Kanan, that'd be so good. I have a feeling the Ghost is going to come back around. So I'm going to take... Devotion? Or not Devotion, System Patrol Craft, because I don't have many space units. Yoda, that's an easy pick there. Yoda, when he dies, I'll draw a card, and he restores 2. So we want to see those force units. Akbar's another great one. So we're going to take Akbar. He can deal damage early on. His health is okay. He has 4 health. I think that's fine. Nothing really solid to take here. We'll just take tactical advantage. Here comes some blue cards and some green. Homestead Militia with that Sentinel. I'm going to take the Militia because we could actually give it Sentinel with Chewbacca's ability. We'll take Moment of Peace. I'm going to take Ruthless Raider. I'm going to hate draft this card because it deals 2 damage to an enemy base and 2 damage to a unit when it comes into play when it dies. I love using that with the new Emperor Palpatine. All right, I'll take this ISB agent for no other reason than I don't like it. And hey, Ghost got passed. That means no one's playing Spectre. I need to see a Kanan. I need to see some Kanans. I would love a Chopper. Chopper would also be good. And Ezra. I just went too fast there. Sorry, we didn't take a look at what I had. Again, this is kind of where we would have taken a quick look at what we need. So we're just going to take a look here. Green is still pretty low. Yellow is very low. So pivoting to yellow is going to be hard if we see a good yellow unit. Blue is definitely our strong point here. Let's take a look at this pack. We can give some rebels that attack this turn experience token. Nope, that's too many conditions in limited. Why do I want to, I have to guarantee 3 rebel units attacked just to even get the full benefit of this. So I have to have 3 rebel units in play and all of them have to survive the attack in order for me to do this. It's like, it may happen, it may not. I know I'm not playing that many rebel units, so we're just not going to go down that road. We got Academy Training, really, a Baze Malbus, and a Moment of Peace. I'm going to take another Baze. Again, I can give him Sentinel if we don't have the initiative, so let's go that route. Ooh, a 97th Legion. This is one of those cards that's like, I wish they would have named it anything else or chosen a different art because it's fine. Like, it's a really good card. It just always feels weird. It's not villainous. It's just a standard green card, not green black. It definitely can't be green white. Look at the art. So why leave it green? I'm curious. So, they could have changed it to anything. Just could have been a militia, another militia type card, something like that. But we didn't go that direction. Echo-based Defender with that Sentinel or Entrenched. Ooh, Entrenched is going to make cards like Chewbacca even tougher. Let's take it. Let's take it. A second Ghost, a General Krell. I'm not playing Krell, though, because he's double green. We're going to, I guess, really the only pick's the Ghost out of this pack. Not really anything. Speaking of packs that aren't really anything, Rebel Pathfinder with that Saboteur, we're going to take you because everything else is different aspects that we're not really running. Out comes Mon Mothma and Wedge Antilles. Now, Wedge is definitely a comeback from behind card. So in limited formats, when you play him, you're really hoping to make an effort. You want to have vehicles in your deck. You're hoping to take advantage of the ambush ability and trying to support your board state. Without the vehicles or taking advantage of ambush, he's okay. He's a 5/5 for 5, so he's not like a priority for us. I'm also not running that many vehicles, so I think we're going to just take Homestead Militia. Make an opening, Rugged Survivors. This is what I want to see, Rugged Survivors. Look, another ghost. No Canons, though. I need a Canon. Like, without the Canon, it just feels silly. All right, here comes another Rugged Survivors, but a Devotion. I think I'm going to take this Devotion. I love restoring abilities. I love the +2/+2. Finally, a Jedi lightsaber. Let's take that. We're going to need one of those cards. We're going to take Moment of Peace. We're going to be playing all these Sentinel units. Take the Defender. Give us another good Sentinel unit that lasts longer than a turn. Take the Lothal Insurgent. I have a feeling these last couple packs are not going to be helpful for us. A lot of red. A lot of red. Hey, a ghost. All right, we got the ghost here. I think we know we're going Chewbacca and some green. I think we can make something fun. I just don't think it's going to be great. So let's see. Again, sometimes you're just going to get stuck with some weird leaders, and you got to make some good plays here. Spilled the deck. Chewbacca walking carpet. Stephen M. Sad that every local isn't carrying this game and no one is asking for it. My buddies and I are the only ones to pre-order a booster box. Oh, I feel that. I've been seeing that a lot. Best thing you can do, Stephen, from my experience, and I can kind of give you a little bit more there. So I have 8 years working in the game industry, and I've worked here in the Portland area, which has a lot of just a lot of stores. We're talking 10 plus stores in the area. So a lot of competition, a lot of players who want to play stuff, but not everything's popular, especially in the Northwest where Magic reigns supreme. I've traveled a lot of places, played in a lot of different circles. We're talking Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Washington State, and Oregon. So been around a lot, and from what I can tell you, talking to stores, talking to store owners, being at things like Gamma, which is a store retailer like event, and being in a lot of Facebook groups with still all these store owners still, even though I'm not managing a store at this time, there's always going to be hesitation. You know, if you're unfamiliar with Fantasy Flight games, it's tried a lot of stuff and none of it's really stayed alive. The one success they really had, well, they've had a lot of successes, but one of their successful card games that they really had was Netrunner, which was so successful that Wizards didn't let them allow them to renew their rights to keep it going. So they've always had a couple of issues with whether it's distribution or things like that. That's kind of left a sour taste in a lot of store owners' mouths. It's difficult. Now, this is ran by Asmodee, who's one of the biggest publishers in this industry, and they really do a lot with stores. They really do. I can tell you which stores are part of their program the first minute I walk into a store, because I can tell if they're part of the top 40 based on what they carry. I say all this to say stores are going to be hesitant. If you're really struggling with finding an area or getting your store to commit to this, the best thing you can do is tell them, like, hey, I have 4 people. This is what I would tell people all the time. Like, if you have 4 people that want to play a game, I don't care what the game is as a store owner. If you say there's 4 people I know that want to come in and bring a game, I would say that's great. I will help you do this. What do you need to make this happen? Because if 4 people say, we want to come in here, we want to play Star Wars Unlimited, we know your schedule and you have a free night on these nights and we're all free that night. We want to come in here. We want to be your 4 dedicated people that are going to sit here and play every event until we can get, this game going and give you that support. It sucks because it's, you're probably going to have to put more time up front. You can put more organization up front, and they may ask you to put some more money up front. A store may say, okay, well, can you guys pre-order so that way I can meet my requirements when I order from my distributor, whether it's Asmodee or Southern Hobby. That will help. Some stores have the capacity of ordering from these distributors very quickly. They have the money that's a little bit more fluid for them to do it. And other stores say, listen, I can't, in order for me to make an order from Asmodee, I have to spend $400 or $500. If you're only ordering 1 box, I can't do it. That box is only probably costing them $50 to $70, depending on their program. So, it's one of those things I tell people, best thing you can do, come in with a group, see what you can do as far as pre-ordering more than a box or anything like that, and see if you can say, hey, my group is dedicated to making a play space here. Do you want to be a part of this as a store? It shows a store you're taking the initiative. It shows a store that they have a commitment, because the fear any store has is they're going to buy these boxes and they're not going to sell, and this is going to sit on their shelves taking up space, wasting money, and then they're gonna have to resell it, costing them more time and money. There's a lot there, and I know, again, we're here for draft. I just wanted to give my thoughts in case other people are in that, because I see that in all these social groups, right? I see that here in Portland. We have 4 stores hosting events, but there's still stores in the area are just like, I don't know, like I have a bad feeling. And it's just kind of like, you have a bad feeling because of what's happened. Like, it makes sense. It's okay to be hurt. But if you have the people wanting to play. I've taught over 50 people in Portland how to play this game at these Star Wars Roadshow events. And I'm just like, jump on that, stores. Like, you had 50 people. Like, we couldn't have enough time to teach everyone the game. That's a good sign. Put events up, do something. Like, it's money on the table is what I would tell stores. Even if you don't want to carry it forever, carry it at launch. Any store that's played Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, all the like card games that have come out, there's usually enough money you can make early on. Just be smart about how much you're bringing in. That's it. That's all I gotta say. All right, I gotta play some green, and we're taking Echo Base because that's on theme here. As far as units, we have a lot of them. We don't really have anything that's specific to blue or green. I think really all we're seeing is force sensitive stuff. So let's go ahead and take all 3 honor guards here. We're gonna take the snow speeder for that ambush, rugged survivors because they're gonna do some damage for us. Definitely Luke Skywalker has a bomb. Homestead Militia, we can make Sentinel, and once we have 6 resources, they will have Sentinel. Echo Base Defender, Sentinel. Bays, same thing. And then we're going to try some fun stuff. Bail Organa is going to be 1. Did I grab... I thought I had the other guy, but I don't, so we're going to take Bail. We're at 13 units so far. Definitely Admiral Akbar, Surgical Droid, and Callus. This leaves really the Rebel Pathfinder who has Saboteur. I should play him. And Yoda, which of course, that's 18 units. Space, I'm a little light. Somehow I have 3 Ghost. I remember getting 1, or I remember 2. I don't remember 3. I remember 1 was handed to us last. That's cool. Someone's hand me the Ghost. We're going to add the ARC and the Patrol Craft. As far as the amount of Ghost we're going to put in... Not sure. We can't shield anyone. So it's just a 6 cost, unit. That's a 5/5. So let's move on. Devotion, yes. Entrenched, yes. Lightsaber, yes. If we put the Entrenched and Lightsaber on Luke Skywalker, Luke's going to be able to make sure he's not only like taking down units every turn, he's not going to be taking too much damage. His health is high, and Jedi Lightsaber is going to lower how much damage his opponents really do. So... This leaves 7 more slots. We're definitely taking the double resupply. Force is with me because we have 2 force units, so we can make that work a little bit. Not to mention it does already give 2 experience tokens, so we're good there. And we'll make an opening. Moment of Peace. Get those shield units. I guess we'll take 1 Ghost. Take 1 Ghost. We'll try it out. Save and close. Let's hit the game board and see what happens with Chewbacca walking carpet. Not my favorite art. If you read an IGN article this week, Star Wars was mentioned. That was like the big thing I was reading. I didn't like the art in the beginning of the game. I think what really sold me was when finally someone pointed out, when you see all the cards together, when you see it on the board, it looks better. Now, some cards still just look bad. Chewbacca looks bad. I think Han's face looks bad. But I definitely find the art more appealing when I could see everything together. I can see literally the bigger picture. I think it's good. They'll change it. I'm sure they will. But it was funny just to see a lot of the IGN hate of just like, it's art. And that's, I don't know, if you read comments on IGN, that's usually where it is anyway. No mulligan for us. We're going against Boba Fett. The AI loves Boba Fett. So again, when enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, ready a resource. And same thing when he attacks, he will, if an enemy unit leaves play and he completes an attack, ready 2 resources. The goal of Boba Fett is to play multiple cards in a turn using this ability. My ability is to put a unit into play that costs 3 or less and give us Sentinel, because our goal is to try to get to a higher value cards in our deck. We got to make the hard decision here of what to put down. I think we're going to put down Moment of Peace and... Wow, Pathfinder's the only thing with Saboteur. but I'd rather get that healing going with the ARC. Let's play the ARC. Here he goes. Opponent plays Katina Braggart. We'll take the initiative. And they play Greedo. Wow, these are two strong cards, I won't lie. If we talk about quantum theory of what cards are really good in the beginning of play, it's definitely Greedo, and Katina Braggart you can make a case for. Because next turn he can swing for 2. So Greedo always hits for 3, and when he dies, he can do more damage. Neither of them are really limiting you in as far as aspects, because there's only one. So they're solid cards. We have answers for them, though. I'm going to give up the forces with me, because I'm about to kill one of these units. Am I? Do I need to? I don't actually need to kill one of these units. Let's resupply. I'll kill one of them soon. Restore ARC is going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to take out the TIE Fighter, I guess. Get that out of play. We'll take 2. Out comes another TIE Fighter. Surprising. Wow, this Boba Fett is aggro. Aggro. Stephen M., you mentioned, you and your buddies are pre-ordered at least a box. I'm sure you're excited about it. What area are you in where you're not finding some stores? We're going to drop that ghost. We're at 5. We could have played the ghost, but we're dropping it right now. We are 2 turns away from Chewbacca coming out. So what we are going to do, I think, we should kill something. We'll just play Make an Opening. I was going to put the Militia in right now and get that Sentinel ability. Instead, we'll play Make an Opening, swing with the Restored ARC, so we're healed our base 3 this turn. We're about to take 6 more damage because of Greedo and the Braggart, but we'll be okay. So, again, we cleared the space board. Boba's really going to have to deal with that Restored ARC. I know it only has 1 health, but we're going to make him work for it. Oh, I don't want to give up Bail. I don't give up any of these cards. I guess Militia. That puts us at 6. Vigilant Honor Guards are going to have that Sentinel ability. But I also put the Survivors in with Grit. We're going to go with Honor Guards. They have Sentinel until they're attacked. So once they take some damage, it's over. They will no longer have Sentinel. I'll swing with the Restored ARC. Give us a little bit more health there. Here comes the Braggart. We kill it, no problem, but we lose Sentinel. We're about to take 9 points of damage, I think. Nope, 10 points of damage. Gross. Play a cost at 3 or less, and it gains Sentinel. Oh, so I can just put, it doesn't have to, I thought I had to pay. Oh, I do have to pay. Well, Bale, you're going in. About to waste Bale here. He has Sentinel, though, so he'll survive 1 turn. Then Chewbacca comes out. Double Jawas, both with Saboteur. That's not good. All right, Greedo's dead. Greedo does hit a non-unit card, which deals 2 damage to our Honor Guards. Here comes 3. And then here comes 4. Boba has no cards in hand. Let's see. We have an Entrench. We have a Moment of Peace. I like it. I like it. We got to get rid of something. Sorry, Rugged Survivors. You got to go. We got to put Chewbacca out quick with that Sentinel ability. Yep. We can give Yoda Sentinel too. And we could. Yep, we're going to do it. Let's put Yoda into play. Jabba the Hutt comes into play. Doesn't find a trick, apparently. Not really a card you can build around. There are not that many tricks in the game to make that work. Here comes our Chewbacca. He has Sentinel and Grit. Opponent swings into Yoda. No big deal there. Let's play Moment of Peace on Chewbacca. Yep. Jawa's going to go past us. Oh, wow. Jawa just decides to hit Yoda. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll draw a card. Our opponent is going to be a no. We have this Vigilant Honor Guard. I definitely want to use him. He can only take 2 more points of damage. We're going to go for the Jawa because we don't want Chewbacca to lose these shields. So that's out. Chewbacca's going to get hit by this Boba Fett. That's okay. Chewbacca has shields, and we're going to play the Entrenched, make him a little bit tougher. AI takes the initiative. We're just going to clear the board a little bit here. First, let's start with, we have 5 damage, so we can take out Boba Fett, no problem. Then we're going to go ahead and hit their base for 2 and heal. That looks good. Pass. Ooh, Devotion, Shields, Rugged Survivors, that's all good. This is kind of what we were building up for. We kind of have what you would call a Voltron scenario going on, where we're just assembling pieces to make Chewbacca a little bit stronger. Doesn't help that Chewbacca is now at 7 points of damage. Here comes Devotion. We're still standing, and we have a Restore. I think that's good. So let's go ahead and attack now. I'm worried that we're going to see an ambush. Oh, I can't attack. That's right. I have an entrenched, so I can only attack units. Let's put out Rugged Survivors. Here comes another Jabba the Hutt. We're not scared there. Swing with the restored ARC for 2. Let's seal our base. Okay. Chewbacca has 9 points of damage on him when he can only take 4 more. 4 more. We're going to go ahead and swing on Jabba the Hutt here. Kill him. Restore our base for 2. Chewie's standing. Sentinel and Grit, and here comes Mr. Skywalker himself. Here he comes. Ambush, that's what I was waiting for. Syndicate lackeys will die, but we will lose this Chewbacca. We did our part. Let's put out this guy. So no enemy units to hurt because there wasn't one in play. Opponent has no more units anyway, or no cards in hand. So we're just doing some damage here. Again, the AI probably should have maybe 2 more cards. We don't know what they have in their deck, but I feel like, again, they're going to put too many cards down in the resource pile. Yep. Probably don't need to. That's probably the thing Forcetable can make some improvements on, is just identifying maybe certain cards should stop at a certain resource point, no matter what. Or how many types of cards are in the deck. That type of thing. All right, we're going to put the lightsaber, of course, on Luke Skywalker here. Give him +3/+3. Opponent has nothing else they can do this turn. Let's swing with the restored ARC here. 2 damage. Swing with Luke Skywalker. No one to really hurt. 9 damage. And Rugged Survivors for 3 more. All right, let's give ourselves some Sentinel, and we will pass. This game is ours. We're going to go into game 2. We're going to see how this does. Not going to really drop any cards. See what our opponent plays. Okay. The Siege Tank. Well, guess what? That was a trap the whole time. Siege Tank dies thanks to Admiral Akbar's ability. When played, deal damage to a unit equal to the number of units you control in that arena. We had 4. They had 1. That's just math. Let's finish it off with Luke Skywalker. There it is. We have now done it. We have beaten draft mode. We're going to hop right back in. Do one more draft here. This time against our co-pilot, Han Solo, Audacious Smuggler. Now the face in it, like his smirk just seems so weird, no matter what. Just weird. Again, it's just kind of very like Disney Lorcana vibe, and that's not bad. It's just, this one's definitely not for me. As an action though, Han Solo can put a card from your hand into play as a resource and ready it. At the start of the next action phase, defeat a resource you control. So that means he's going to have this weird type of ramp scenario. He's putting cards into play so he can play a turn, something on, like on this first turn, instead of playing a 2-drop, he could put in a 3-drop. Most of the time in Han Solo constructed decks, that means you're going to see the Falcon out turn 1, and the Falcon can hit you turn 1. Very dangerous game. We'll see what he does in Limited. Now when he's deployed, he has the same thing, but it's only when he attacks. So same ability, different trigger. He's a 4/6, comes out at 6. No mulligan for us. Let's make a decision here. I think I'm going to drop Entrenched because I didn't like how much it was working last time. And we're going to drop Agent Callus. This turn, at least we have a 1-drop or something we can play on turn 1. And that's going to be Rebel Pathfinder. Fun thing, Rebel Pathfinder can remove this shield if we need it to. All right, another card we got to drop here. Let's drop the Rugged Survivors. Much as I would love to use them, I don't think it's this turn. All right, we're going to use Chewbacca's ability here to play a unit that costs 3 or less and give it Sentinel. Let's make the Crafty Smugglers really work against the Homestead Militia. AI plays General Dodonna. Only rebels get +1/+1, and Crafty Smuggler is not a rebel. We're going to go ahead and move past this, or let's hit the base for 2. Crafty Smuggler swings into Militia. Militia takes 2 points of damage. We'll take the initiative. Next turn, I'll probably hit Moment of Peace on the Militia. Wow, double resupplies. Homestead Militia is not going to last 2 turns. So I'm going to drop Moment of Peace. I would love to play Moment of Peace and then resupply. And then play Moment of Peace next turn. But we're not really going to get that out of the Militia. So we're going to Moment of Peace him. Han's going to go ahead and use his ability. He has 5 resources, so he's a little bit more ahead of us. Which is kind of why I wanted to use these resupplies. So we can have like more of a hard advantage. Syndicate Lackeys comes out. Oh, I don't have Sentinel anymore. Ugh, I forgot. I don't have Sentinel. You need 6 resources for the Militia to have Sentinel. Last turn we gave it Sentinel because of the Chewbacca's ability. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. Here comes 4 more to the face. That only puts us at 26 though. But again, mistake of mine. Got to remember those types of things. It only has Sentinel on turn 6. Or sorry, when 6 resources are in play. We're going to drop bays. I got another Sentinel unit that I can play, and as well as we have resupply here, which means we can play Chewbacca. Rugged Homestead Militia does have Sentinel now, so we're going to swing with the Militia into the base before it dies. Let's get that 3 points of damage. Base Operative as Saboteur and Raid. That's no fun. Resupply will go up to 7. General Dodonna swings into the Militia. Dodonna does not die. We can play Chewie now, but Chewie's going to take 5 if we do this. Chewie takes 5 or we take 5 is the real question here. It's a lot of damage. We're going to take it. I'm going to put him up. Here it comes. 5 damage right there. We're not going to have the initiative. Chewie will die no matter what. There's no way I can save him. We'd have to get a really, like, the right event. So let's take the advantage and swing for 7. We're going to pass. No point in giving him the lightsaber, honestly. We're going to hold off here. We're at 7 resources. I have Make an Opening to take care of General Dodonna, which is going to be important. That rogue operative can bypass us, which is fine. Gives Chewbacca 1 more turn. Spec Force Soldier, your turn too late. Does not matter there. Let's attack with Chewbacca. We're going to hit hard again. Boom. 12 to 21. We are in a good spot, but out here comes Han Solo with that attack ability. I don't have any answers for Han at the moment. Let's just put out the Restored ARC. Let's see what Han does. He swings for 4. Hits our base. It's 17 to 12. He gets an extra resource. I don't think he's going to use it. Let's take the initiative. It's a good spot. It's a good spot, ladies and gentlemen. Chewbacca will now swing for 7, dropping them to 5. I don't see them getting the answer they really need. Let's go ahead and swing now. There's 7. Rogue Operative can bypass Chewbacca because of the Saboteur. We're going to play... we can play a Vigilant Honor Guards. I think that's what we're going to do, and then we'll play Devotion. Fleet Lieutenant takes out Chewbacca, but he dies. Oh, Chewbacca's still alive. Thank goodness. Put the Devotion on the Restored ARC. It's going to hit the base for 3. Heal us 2. We'll take the initiative after that, and the game is ours. So there's nothing on this board that's really going to be a big problem for us. Han has to swing in the Honor Guards. So again, we have the initiative, and that's game. We're going to draft 1 more time. Draw 2 cards at the end of the regroup phase. We don't need to play any of those cards. We have it right here. 3 damage on the board, and we're going to heal. Boom. Han Solo, sorry. And Chewie just has the power. I've seen Solo, and Han Solo really lost that fight. All right. Good times, good times. Let's forfeit this. No need to continue. We're going to do one more, and we're going to try to draft something we haven't drafted yet. We were committed to Chewbacca last time. We've done Krennic, so let's definitely avoid blue. We got Boba Fett, Sabine Wren, and Leia Organa. I think I'm going to grab Sabine. She's not the best choice out of these. But sometimes, you know, someone out there is going to want to play Sabine, right? So let's see what we can do. Past 2 Chewbaccas, that stinks. And Leia Organa. So no matter what, this isn't a bad setup. It just means you're stuck with hero, right? You really want to focus on hero units. So that means we're prioritizing units that are one hero aspect first. Some good cards like that. You're talking about like Fleet Lieutenant, Snowspeeder, and I want to say Pathfinder are going to be some key cards for us here. All right, we got blue, green, red, rallying cry, double red. If I saw an aggression, that'd be fun. Wow, nothing here stands out as like a take this type of card. Honestly, just does not. So I think we're going to take volunteer soldier because we can play it with anyone. Let's take that as just a example of trying to take cards that will be good. No matter what colors we get stuck with. The gunship has Sentinel. The Pathfinder Insurgent needs another red card to make a difference. Lothal Insurgent needs 2 cards to really make it effective. So you can already see like the situational. What's going to make a difference when it hits the board? That's your first question. It's going to be the gunship. So it's yellow, it's white. We're going to take it. It fits what we're doing, right? Waylay is one of those cards that's like it's a really good card. It's a great card in constructed, but it's in limited. It feels limiting, literally. It just feels like you're going to play it. All they're going to do is put down that card next turn. You're stalling, and are you stalling the right way? And Waylay is not a card that you need early game, honestly. Man, okay. Well, we got double bright hopes. I'm going to take the foil. That's what I would do in real life. I would take that foil one. Greedo, foil Greedo. Greedo's a good card to drop. We could easily play some yellow with any of these cards. Maybe an answer. Yellow may be the answer. We'll take the Greedo. He's a good pick. All right. So now here we are. We're kind of a mix everywhere. Leia Organa's a possibility. Not really any rebel though, to take advantage of that. So it'd still be a pivot. Yoda's a maybe. And some okay red cards. Again, red cards are going to need some more to build off of. Let's take this sympathizer. You know, man, these cards, it's something. Let's take the Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. I think we're going to try to make the Leia build work a little bit more for us. Some of these cards are definitely going to come back. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to take the Vanguard Ace. I know it's not Rebel. No, I'm not going to take the Ace. I feel like with cards like... Did I even take him? Oh, I didn't take Bail Organa. So yeah, that works. I was going to say cards like Bail Organa, some other stuff would work. Stephen M in Toronto. Yeah. I've seen that a couple times. A couple people have been saying it's weird so far, like in some of the bigger Canadian cities, and not seeing that kind of play. I was reading some comments from the Vancouver, BC groups, and they're still kind of having that same issue. So they're kind of talking about what's it look like to drive into the States, which would be like, you can drive Seattle, which is like an hour, or they can do some of the suburbs around. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird hearing that in the Canadian aspect of Canadian distribution. We're going to take the Restored ARC because it's Rebel. And look, we got Bail. Oh, a second Rogue Squadron. When played, return a unit that costs 2 or less from your discard pile to your hand. Bale's going to give some experience tokens. This is pick 8. None of these cards are coming back. I'm going to take the Rogue Squadron. I like that as ambush. It's a good bomb to lean into. No real troopers here. Again, we want to try and stick with this rebel theme if we're going to make Leia work, and I think that's what I want to do. Let's take resupply. I guess we'll take recruit because it's really the only playable card in there. Out comes the dispatcher. He's going to be able to lower units by 1, and here comes that Bail Organa. Perfect. And a mission briefing. Okay, so end of pack 1. We think we're leaning a little bit more towards Leia. We have green, white. Dispatcher and Bale are going to make some units stronger, come out cheaper. Rogue Squadron skirmishers have ambush and are going to bring back those 2-cost units from a discard pile to our hand. Looking at Bale and the trooper, restored ARC. So we have some bounce effects. We're going to need some more space units. We're definitely going to need some more 2-drops that can do something good on enter or buy us the time, just kind of overwhelming our opponent. So let's get to it. What do we got? Fleet Lieutenant. That's a great one. It's not 2, but it's a good one. We also have the lightsaber, but no force users. No force users. Let's take the Lieutenant. Lieutenant can make a big difference with Leia decks. Next, there's the Ghost. And here's Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma is a 2-cost unit, and so is the Battlefield Marine. Mon Mothma, however, will search the top deck of your cards for more rebels and get them into your hand. So we're going to go with that. And now we want some rebels, and this pack has 0 rebels. 0. So what are we taking? What do we hate drafting here? I would take the foil. That's just the habit I'm in. Okay. Redemption, Bright Hope, Echo-based Defender, another Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. I love the idea if once you get 6 resources, you're just dropping these guys and bringing more units back. I like it. We're going to take them. We're going to take them. If I can get a wedge, that'd be really good. If we can find a wedge. All right. Forces with me, a Spectre card. The gunship. I don't think we've decided if we're really going blue yet. We're really in a green-white mode. I guess we'll take the Skirmisher for right now. Skirmisher has ambush as long as you have a green unit. Since most of our units are green, why not? Zeb Aurelios and Yoda. Zeb is a rebel, so I'm going to take Zeb for right now, and we're going to talk about that splash of red and white. Oof. For a cause I believe in. I don't know how many white cards I have, but we're going to take the resupply instead. Because I'm not sure how many heroic cards I'm going to have to make that work. All right. No green units really here that are rebel. We're going to take the Steadfast Battalion. Another resupply. Is that really what I want? That'd be 3 resupplies. We'll take it. We'll take it. The only other option there, I think, was make an opening. And here it is here. But we'd rather have any of these 2 units. Let's take the Battlefield Marine. It hits for 3. And it's an easy one to pick up with the Ambusher's ability. That's going to be really important. Now, the ambush ability of the... Sorry, not the ambush ability. What's this card called? Rogue Squadron Skirmisher, sorry, has the when played, return a unit that costs 2 or less. Does not matter the type of unit, and it's not color restricted. So that's pretty cool. Let's take the TIE Fighter. No rebel units here. We're going to go ahead and take the Escort Skiff. I really want to see a rebel assault. We'll take Krell, even though I'm not sure I'm playing double green. But I am a big Krell fan. All right, so our units are looking a little bit better, but we don't have that many low-cost units as I would hoped. Right now, the only ones that hit the build are Dispatcher, Marine, Bail Organa, and Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma, however, every time we bring her back, is going to fetching more rebel units, so that's important. We're across the board on the space, so again, got to make a commitment here. Not just green units, not just green events. We need to figure out this third color of this pack. What did we get that's going to help us decide this? A second Zeb, a Battlefield Marine. Marine is good because it hits those drops. Pathfinder is good because it hits the drop. Agitator's good because it is also Rebel. And so is the Spec Force Soldier. Oof. Let's go with the Spec Force Soldier for right now because I'm going to want that ability with Sentinel. Being able to bring that card back to my hand may be really important in certain situations. All right, Rebel Trooper, Rogue Operative, or the Agitator. I'm going to take the Agitator with that red. Once Leia's in play, it can do a little bit more, and I like that. Second, Spec Force Soldier. Let's do it. Again, if we can get past that Sentinel, we'll have some fun. I'm going to take the Wing Leader or Open Fire. We've definitely been splashing some red, and Open Fire is going to be that defense we need. Wing Leader, though, is Rebel, making the smaller Rebel unit stronger. I'll take Open Fire. I don't think Open Fire would come back around. So, all right, we get second Sentinel unit, or sorry, Spectre unit is Sabine Wren. So let's pick her up. Love to have her come back. She does a good amount of damage on entry. We have one Bright Hope. Let's make it 2. Spec Force Soldier, make an opening. Spec Force Soldier. That's going to be it. Make these rebels work. Battlefield Marine, again, it's going to be able to low cost unit. We're going to be able to bring it back. I think that's a strong build. Han Solo is still getting passed around. Yellow is not a popular color. Let's go with the Agitator. Again, we're really trying to hope that we can take advantage of Leia being in play. All right, we're going to take the Dispatcher here. Not many big units, so our bombs are few in between. I don't need anything out of there. We'll take the foil. Take the battalion. We'll take the honor guards outside of the Dispatcher there, and we'll take the tactical advantage. Okay. How am I feeling about this deck? Not as strong. Not as strong. Again, I mentioned this earlier. Leia, the problem here with Leia, even though I was kind of saying we could do Sabine. The problem with Leia is you're really committed to those rebel units. And I think it was the better play based on the cards we saw. Sabine just didn't have as strong as a red package, but we really want to focus on are all our units rebels, and are we taking advantage of this? Because we want to win fast. So let's build it out. Let's see what we can do here. Green, yellow, white. That is not the way we're going. We're going to go red. I'm going to play Imperial Red because I like that area. Okay. So we know we want our 2-drop units, and we want these Rogue Squadron skirmishers. They only hit for 4, but they're going to keep things coming out in our hand, and that's important. Leia's ability to swing with 2 units at one time, even if she's not on the field, is going to help us get a little bit of an advantage here. Mon Mothma's a must. Agitators, yes. Battlefield Marine, yes. Bail. Dispatchers. Essentially, if it's Rebel, it needs to be played, right? We want these units to be able to work for us. So, Soldiers and Zeb. Well, we're going to stop there at 17. Play both Bright Hopes. We have no space units, so the aggression is going to be real. And as far as events, it's going to be rough. We got Open Fire. Resupply, I'll play the play set of them. They'll probably be dropped most of the time as a event, because we're going to want to really put out our units to overwhelm. We're going to take tactical advantage here for that +2/+2. And that puts us at 24 cards. So I'm not super confident with this, but we're going to fill up the rest of the units here with the non-rebel ones. It puts us at 29 and 30. Well, we're just going to be throwing stuff on the board and see what happens, guys. Let's find out. Let's find out. Boba Fett, man, I gotta ask in draft if Boba Fett's always just gonna be picked. I feel like that's all I play against anymore. But you know what? Everyone loves Boba Fett. If you're paying attention to some of the TTS matches the past couple weekends, Boba Fett's been a very popular card. There's a lot you can do to control the game, so I don't mind it. But again, playing on Forcetable means I can't get cocky either. So, and there you go. Another Star Wars quote for you. Don't get cocky. All right, I love all these cards, but we're gonna have to pick 2, and I'm gonna pick Resupply and the Skift. I have 2 Resupplies and 2 more Resupplies in the deck, and that's exactly why I'm okay putting those in there. Greedo's in play. Let's play the Dispatcher. ISB agent reveals waylay, deals 1 damage to a unit. Oh no. That's our guy, man. That's our guy. So we know the opponent has a waylay. I'm okay if they want to waylay that dispatcher. What are we getting rid of, though? What are we getting rid of? We have 1 open fire, so it's not that. Bail Organa, I do want to see in play. I just don't think he's going to survive. And I don't want to get rid of this squadron, but I guess I have to. More rebel units here. I can take out that ISB agent who hits for 3. But I don't know. I just don't know. Let's actually do... Use his ability, make something cost 1 less, and we'll play the Battlefield Marine. Wow. Boba Fett here with solid card plays. ISB agent, Greedo, Scout Bike Pursuer. These are 3 cards that I think are really strong. They're great to grab early in drafts because look at where we're at, right? It's turn 2. My opponent's board presence is strong, right? He only has 5 damage on the board. This guy gets stronger. This one was able to pop us for 1 and he's tough to kill. And this one has 4. This one, if I kill it, can still kill me, even if I use an event. So, I don't know. There's options. There's options here. Let's pass. I want to see what Greedo does before I put out Bail Organa. All right. Greedo swings. Cool. Loses a skiff. It is a unit. I'm going to go ahead and play Bail. And ISB agent can swing, and it'll, yeah, that's fine. He can hurt somebody. We're going to take the initiative. All right. Spec Force Soldier, Steadfast Battalion. I'm going to get rid of the battalion right now. We're probably going to have to open fire on that Scout Bike Pursuer. We can't really afford to let that thing stay in play. So there he goes. Gamorrean Guards come into play, though, and they have Sentinel, so that's not fun. Gear experience took another friendly unit. I don't have one. Wow. I'll play this. We'll give the Gamorrean Guards the lose Sentinel ability. And, yep, ISP agent decides to swing on Bail. Let's give an experience token to the Spec Force Soldier. They'll take the initiative. Bail at least did something. Next turn, Leia can come out, and that'll be really great. We're going to drop this soldier because we're going to play Mod Mothma. All right, we get Asteroid Sanctuary. That stinks. Let's put out Leia. What are you going to do? Boba Fett. That's what they're going to do. All right, let's put the experience token on Leia. I want her to survive. Out comes the Mining Guild TIE Fighter. I don't think we're going to get there. I think I made not a great deck. That's for sure. Look at the top 5 cards. We're going to pick a Rebel. I guess I'm taking Bright Hope. Can't play it this turn, but I'm taking it. Out goes Bail Organa. Leia has nothing else she can do, really. Jedi Agitator I want to keep alive. Let's swing with Leia right now. Ugh. Swing with the guards, though? Guys, it's just not what I want to do. It's not what I want to do. Hit the guards, and I'll die to Boba Fett. No problem. But Boba Fett's going to have to swing on me, so we'll see. We'll see. Guards are gone. Bobo, what are you doing? Smart move. Swing into Leia, finish her off, get her off the field. That's okay. We can still use that ability, but the Jedi Agitator is pointless to us. Let's take the initiative so I can go first and feel a little better. All right, we're going to put down the Agitator. And we'll play the Fleet Lieutenant. Attack with a unit, yes. We're going to attack with the Spec Force Soldier for 3 right into the base. Or for 5, there we go. Out comes Bounty Hunter Crew. They have Ambush, and they're going to get a card back into their hand. I know it was an event, and it was the one they used to exhaust last turn. So, good for them. Mon Mothma is going to swing into somebody. ISB Agent. Finish them off. And we'll see what Boba does. Boba's going to be able to trigger the ability of untapping 2 cards, and it's a 26-25 match. We're going to take the initiative. And we get Surprise Striked. Ooh, 22. Okay. Here comes a resupply. Here comes a Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. So we can grab a 2-cost unit. That can be Bale, or it can be this Battlefield Marine, or it can be Mon Mothma after she dies. It's going to do an ability. We're going to attack with 2 rebel units in the same action using Leia's. There's 3. Attack with another rebel unit. Yep. Swing for 2. All right. Boba's going to swing now. It's a 21 to 18 match. Their favor. Yep. We're going to play the Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. Return a unit that costs 2 or less. Let's grab the Marine because he hits pretty hard. Trigger the ambush. We're going to swing on the Bounty Hunter crew. We'll still be alive. No problem there. Out comes that Asteroid Sanctuary, and we're going to take the initiative. I'm holding on to the Spec Force Soldier for when we need it. We'll take 2 more damage. 16 to 21. We're down by 5. I think the AI would have gotten us if they stopped putting resources into play, but that's not how they roll. That is just not how they roll. So first things first, Rogue Squadron Skirmisher is going to swing into Boba. Get him out of here. That is okay. We have 1 more Skirmisher in our deck. Let's go ahead and use Leia's ability, which is what I should have done first. Until I don't play Leia enough, there's some triggers that you're just kind of like, yeah, always swing, right? Always swing with 2 rebel units in a turn. I could have killed Boba. I could have hit something else. That way I could survive an ambush attack, no problem. It's a 14-17 match at the moment. We're gonna bounce. Mon Mothma to our hand. Out comes a Jawa. Well, okay, that's all right. We can play. Does this say Trooper? That is a Trooper. Let's play the Volunteer Soldier, which comes into play for 2 because we have control of Trooper, and we're also going to play Mon Mothma again. Search and top 5 card results. We're going to grab a unit. We're going to grab the Skirmisher because it has ambush. Take care of that Jawa, hopefully. Pass. All right, no reason to put any of these cards down. I like them all. Zeb's going to be great. Bright Hope luckily has Sentinel, so that Mining Guild TIE Fighter has to swing into him. Let's use this ability. We're going to attack with 2 rebel units. I think we're going to take out the Jawa first. Get that out of here. Attack with another rebel unit. Let's go ahead and swing on the capital city. 15. Asteroid Sanctuary takes out the Volunteer Soldier. Okay. Spec Force Soldier here hits for 3, so he cannot kill. Can he kill? Oh, he can kill this soldier, the Short Trooper. Let's do that. Let's take him out. Now remember, we can bring in any 2-cost units, and we got Bail Organa sitting back there. That's really who I want to bring back. But Zeb is also going to be really great. So let's grab Zeb for right now. Fill out our board space with another Battlefield Marine and then this Alliance Dispatcher. All right, pass. We have a lot of options here. These are all rebels except for the Volunteer Trooper. We also got 2 ambush cards in our hand. What's the AI going to do? They're going to Asteroid Sanctuary Zeb Aurelios. That makes sense. We're going to go ahead and use our Rogue Squadron Ambusher then. Turn a 2-cost unit. We're going to grab Bale, and we're just going to go ahead and attack the infantry. Now, his a shield unit, so we're not going to get through it and kill the unit, but we are going to deal some damage there. Out goes Mon Mothma. No fun there. She is out. Action ability, use her ability to swing with 2 units at one time. Attack with another rebel unit. Yep, we'll choose the Battlefield Marine. We're going to drop them down to 10. All right, Death Trooper kills the infantry and deals 2 damage to the dispatcher. Smart move there. Good on them. Let's have that raid bonus. We'll hit the base for 3. AI still has 1 more move, and we're going to let him take it. So Bright Hope still standing. Let's take the initiative. We're going to go first. We're going to hit this base, and we're going to win. No problem. So I don't think we really should have gotten there. I think this is where this kind of falls apart. Is if you're not getting the tempo you really want, you're relying on luck, or you're relying on your opponent to misplay. Attack with this other unit. Now again, Leia does help you attack with units twice in one action, so you can get that speed that you're hoping for. Really important. I should have attacked with Zeb, but I didn't. But we'll see how round 2 goes. Opponent was holding on to a Power of the Dark Side, a Mining Guild TIE Fighter, and a Seasoned Shore Trooper. Again, too many cards I think played out. He probably could have stopped right here at 6 cards and kept going. Would have definitely put out more on the board. Let's hop back in. Again, this is the last one we're doing of this. All right, no mulligan for us. We're just gonna have to make the hard decisions of what do we get rid of. Ooh, Steadfast Battalion. Yep, we'll get rid of you. You're not Rebel. And the Cheddar Agitator is going to be so good. I will drop one of the Rogue Squadron Skirmishers. That's 2. Play a card. We're going to go ahead and play the Dispatcher, I think. Nah, we'll play the Battlefield Marine. I'm worried the Dispatcher will just die. All right, he won't. We'll take the initiative. He did not die. All right, a resupply and a Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. The resupply is an easy one to throw in there. Leia's not that expensive, and I really want to save that Skirmisher. Let's go ahead and attack with the Battlefield Marine now. Let's put in those 3 points of damage. Then we'll probably drop the Officer and the Agitator. Again, we're playing against a Boba Fett. I don't know what's going on. Again, it's good. Boba Fett's like a good mid-range control. He hits hard. He's not an easy kill. So maybe it's a good move. Maybe it's good practice, but you know, it definitely can get a little boring if all you're playing against is Boba Fett in your training matchups. All right, I'm going to drop this time a Spec Force Soldier. Watch, he's going to put the Sentinel unit out, and I'm going to regret it. Super Laser Technician has to swing into somebody. Smart move into the Agitator. Boba Fett can now come out before Leia does. No bueno. No bueno at all. Let's go ahead and use the ability. We're going to swing with both Rebel units. Get that damage in. Swing with another one. Battlefield Marine is now 27-28. Our favor for the second. It's not going to last long. Let's put out Sabine Wren. Out comes Boba. Out comes Boba. And we're going to tempt him. We're going to put out this Agitator. Here comes the recruit. They find another Outer Rim Headhunter, which they can play. We'll take the initiative. We're going to take some damage. Now, remember, the Outer Rim Headhunter, as long as Boba's in play, they can essentially exhaust a non-leader unit. So even more important, I go fast. Hopefully I get I didn't get one. Okay, cool. I was hoping for something specific, and it did not show up. No good. All right. I want the Agitator to stay alive, so I'm going to go ahead and give it +2/+2. And we're going to put Leia out. It is going to feel slow because it is slow. Boy, the shooter leader. So, okay, here comes the lackeys. What are they going to do? If they're smart, they kill the Agitator. They don't. All right, there goes the Battlefield Marine. No problem. We can bring that back next turn. We have to swing into the Gamorrean Guard, but we can kill it. And then we can attack with another Rebel unit, which will be the Agitator, who's just going to go straight through. And we're going to deal 2 damage to another unit or a base. We're going to choose a ground unit, and we're going to take out the lackeys there. There's 4 damage this phase. Boba hits us for 4. It's a 16-23. That's okay. I don't mind playing some catch up here. Sabine's going to hit the base for 3. 20-16. We get hit for 1. AI could still do something, but I'm going to take the initiative. Let's see if they play anything else. They don't. They pass. Perfect. Bail Organa, Steadfast Battalion. The battalion's good, but Leia's close to death. Bale's rebel, and he's going to give him, I don't know. It's going to make him work for it. Let's play the Green Squadron, the Rogue Squadron A-Wing. Green Wing. So we're going to grab the Agitator back, put it in our hand, trigger the ambush ability, and let's hit Boba Fett for 4. So the Rogue Squadron Skirmisher will not die. I love that this is a Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. I love that it's that. It makes it feel, you know, more connected to so many other Star Wars matches or Star Wars games, which I think is cool. We'll swing with Leia, and then we can swing with one other unit. I think we're going to go ahead and use Sabine. Wait, can Sabine do 1 damage to a defender? Yep. We're going to go ahead and finish off Boba Fett with Sabine. So Mandalorian versus Mandalorian clone. We want it to happen here. Get him out. Get this guy out. He's no Mandalore. Fun fact, he was Mandalore in the Legends books. You're unfamiliar with the term, the Mandalore was the leader of Mandalore. So the leader of the Mandalorians. Now it's kind of more of like whoever holds the Darksaber essentially leads. They're kind of like the new Mandalore. But that was like one of my favorite things in Legends is like knowing there was this leader, right? And the Darksaber's obviously extension of the original Star Wars Legends canon. But yeah, just really cool. Just love seeing that kind of stuff. And I always thought Mandalore looked dope. Imagine kind of a what are they called? The Emperor's Bodyguards. Imagine that outfit. Replace the helmet with like this really cool gold etched thing. Just thought it was really neat. Real neat. We're going to take the initiative. Don't get cocky. I don't even, you know, a card's probably good when it's a paragraph. So don't get cocky. Choose a unit. One at a time, reveal cards from your deck until you choose to stop, or have revealed 7 cards. All right, I know this card. If the combined cost of the revealed cards is 7 or less, deal that much damage to the chosen unit. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your deck in random order. So we're playing blackjack, but the number is 7. As long as he doesn't go past 7, something's taking some damage. All right, he went past 7. That's 9. So no damage. He whiffed. Should have stopped. I like the card, but yeah, it's just why would you play it if you know you have too many high cost cards? All right, we're gonna drop resupply. We have a Mon Mothma, a Bail Organa, and a Jedi Agitator. Sorry. First things first, we want to swing with Leia Organa. We got to get that ability going. So attack with Leia. Then we're going to swing with the Jedi Agitator because, again, he can deal 2 damage to a ground unit or a base. That's what makes him good. He can't take any damage, but, again, we're doing some more damage here. There's 2. There's 2 more. It's 8 to 9, our favor. I like where this is going. Put out another Agitator. We're going to take 2. Now, it's important we keep the initiative. If I was the AI, I would definitely... take the initiative right now instead of hitting with the V-Wing, right? That's the play. You take the initiative then. I'm at 6, and you need to find a way of doing, you know, extra damage. Maybe a surprise strike, that type of thing would do it. But they didn't, so I'll take the initiative. I can't think of anything the opponent has. The game is ours. I'm going to drop this resupply. Because all we're going to do is use Leia's ability here and attack, and that's game. So... Or we could have attacked with a Jedi Agitator. Now, we still can. And it's overkill, but I want to do it anyway. Hit it for 2. Hit the base for 2, so we get down to -4. That's pretty great when this base was at 34. So, I think so. I think it was pretty cool. I hope everyone had a good time. Always appreciate people coming in, talking, chatting, just watching. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I know I am. Again, this Saturday, I think we're going to do some pre-release streams so I can focus on what other cards are going to work with Luke and Vader in that kind of setting. And just kind of, again, show people some more synergies they can get familiar with and prepare them for the starter decks. So, again, having a great time. If you haven't already liked or subscribed to the channel. And yeah,